Hey everybody, it's Attorney McClendon, and I wanted to talk to y'all about how we can make sure that we don't get blindsided by life. And by blindsided by life, what I mean is things that we know are possible things that could happen, and we're not prepared for the possibility, and we end up being blindsided. We end up being surprised, caught off guard, and just shaken to our core. And uh there's room for that. It makes sense that when something happens that we weren't expecting, that we would feel a little bit caught off guard. But at the same time, it's not like we never could have anticipated these things happening, because we see it happening to other people all the time. And so I'm speaking from personal experience today. We actually had a close family member to experience a sudden health change. Went from being very healthy, active, walking all the time, to now needing to have people care for them on a daily basis, 24 hours a day. And we do believe that this family member, thankfully, is going to recover. But the level of being caught off guard that we experience as a family and individually, I'm just wanting to talk with us about this to see if we can begin to be more mindful that these things can happen. So we all know, as long as we have bodies, that these bodies can fail us at some point. It could be from a medical condition, or there could be an accident. We just never know what could happen. So we don't need to just pretend like that's not a possibility. We need to be aware that there might be situations where we're either dependent on other people to handle our healthcare decisions, to make financial decisions for us. Of course, we all need to make sure we have some kind of a will or a trust in place in the event that we die. We know that that's a possibility, being humans, that people do die, and that there are decisions that need to be made if someone has a medical condition that comes upon them suddenly or even gradually, or if someone dies. We know that there are certain decisions that will need to be made in those events that need to be planned for and anticipated. So I just wanted to throw out a few of those things here in this conversation, and I welcome you to add things in the comments that either we need to be mindful of, or things that we can prepare for, ways that we can prepare for those things. One thing that, from a legal standpoint, me being a lawyer, I'm thinking about financial powers of attorney, healthcare directives, and of course, a will and or a trust. Those are things that I want to make sure that everybody that I encounter is thinking about these things and planning to get them in place. If you don't already have them in place, you need to have a medical healthcare directive. It's called a healthcare directive here in Georgia. Other states might call it a healthcare power of attorney or a living will. Whatever it is, you need to have that document in place, because it allows you to name who has the legal authority to make medical decisions for you if you are not able to. You don't ever want to be in a situation where you're not able to communicate with your doctor and tell them what you want done, and you don't have someone that you trust in place as your agent to make those decisions on your behalf. You want to make sure that the people who legally would be asked to make those decisions are the people who you will want to make those decisions. So if you don't have a healthcare directive in place, then you're at the mercy of state laws, the courts, and whatever doctors you happen to be treating you, and whether or not they ask the right people what needs to be done concerning your health care. Because I'm seeing with this loved one just how much a family's role in the process can make a difference. It makes the difference between you being sent to a nursing home for care, or being sent home and being sent to a really high quality rehab center for therapy, to help you to, at their facility. It ranges from nursing home all the way to really top of the line medical rehab in a top of the line facility. And I see it now, the options available. And if you don't have the right person in place, you might end up in a place you don't want to be. A healthcare directive not only allows you to name an agent, it also allows you to state certain medical decisions that you would want to be made in the event you're not able to make them. So you just don't want to be at other people's mercy with nothing in place to dictate what your wishes are, and also make sure that the right people are making those decisions for you. Financial power of attorney. That's another thing. There are things that have to be done financially when you become ill or incapacitated in any way. You need to make sure that there's someone who is named as your agent to handle financial decisions for you. Be able to go to the post office and get your mail forwarded to a different location. Be able to access your bank accounts. Be able to talk to the Social Security Administration or the VA on your behalf so that you can get the financial resources you need in the event you become disabled or have a medical condition. You need someone who can authorize the payments of your medical bills to say, yes, treat this person. He has insurance. She has insurance. She has money. She's not going to skip out on her bills. So making sure you have a legal financial power of attorney in place is going to be critical. You need to make sure that you have given your power of attorney agent the right authority to do things on your behalf. And also, in some cases, you need to limit their authority in ways so that they can't do more than what you would want them to do. And, these are things that they're not too hard to put in place. I do recommend having a lawyer to help you through at least the financial power of attorney. Also, medical directive, a lawyer can help you through that, or your own primary care doctor. But whatever you do, you need to have those documents in place so that you are not caught off guard. Your family's not scrambling to get things in place to take care of you. Another thing, just thinking about it practically, making sure that you have enough savings in place because things come up. And you don't want to be in a place where you were already robbing Peter to pay Paul, and now you have this sudden medical issue, and you don't have any disposable income to be able to cover things that maybe insurance doesn't cover, or things that have to be advanced and then reimbursed later. You want to be able to buy food, buy supplies like toiletries and cleaning supplies, and maybe some things, some medical devices to help you out at home. Those are things that having some extra money saved up can really be helpful in times where you have unexpected expenses coming up that are required to help you to transition through whatever sudden situation you've dealt with. If you have minor children like I do, you need to have both a short-term and a long-term guardian designated so that if something happened to you and you're not able to get to your children for a period of time, you want somebody who is going to be trustworthy and is going to be a safe place for your children to have legal authority to take custody of your children if needed. Even to be to discuss things with the doctor. I mean, not the doctor, the schools. The schools are not going to call your random sister that they don't know to say, hey, nobody's come to pick the kids up from school. Are you able to come pick them up? We don't know where their parents are. Things can happen. I travel out of town a lot, and usually when I'm traveling out of town, my spouse is home to help with the kids. But let's say that I was not married, or if my spouse was also out, then if both of us are out, then if something happened to either of us, or let's say he's in California and I'm here, something happens, who's going to have the legal authority to pick my kids up from school? Who would the school know to call to inform that nobody's come to pick these kids up? Who, in case, the police get involved, who are they going to release the children to avoid children having to go to DFAS, to the Department of Family and Children Services? You don't want to have your family be in those situations where there is uncertainty if something happened to you and you can't get to your children in time, or even, if someone were to die and they have children, who's going to have the legal authority to take those children and make sure that they're cared for, make sure that they have access to bank accounts to pay for the children's care, because you got somebody else taking care of your child. You don't want them blindsided by your sudden expenses for your children. You want them to have access to money that they can use to take care of your child in the best way possible. So those are some of the things that you can do to prevent yourself from being blindsided by a medical issue, by a health, like a accident, or just something that happens suddenly. There's so much more I can talk about, even from this experience with my family member, but I'm going to save that for another conversation. But I would love to hear from y'all in the comments if you've had a situation where you were blindsided and now you have recommendations for how to prevent that in the future, or if you know of some tips that would be helpful to others to help them to prepare for the unexpected. Please share them in the comments. I also ask that you please like and subscribe to this channel and share it with a friend. Again, this is Attorney Veronica McClendon, and I hope y'all have a great day.